go. Welcome, everybody, to another Former Athlete Society accountability call. Have you ever noticed how much quieter the room feels when you expect people to show up and they don't? I'm smiling because that's what I'm doing today. There's no live broadcast. I am recording for our Instagram community, our broadcast channel at Adam Ringler. That is the blueprint. But for the most part, we're not doing a live YouTube. It's just you, me, this camera, and that's what accountability feels like, showing up when nobody is watching. It's not about who's watching or who's observing. It's about whether you show up. So whether this room fills up or it's just me, or if you're tuning in later and you're watching this YouTube while you're doing cardio on the treadmill or anything else, welcome. This time's not wasted. Now, today I'm going to walk through 5 powerful topics that I hand selected, I curated out for us, and it's the things that keep popping up, the conversations I have with current and former athletes, and it directly affects how we train, how we think, how we live our life well after our playing days are over. So, we're covering everything from recalibrating your nutrition, your metabolism, staying motivated without caffeine, building a productive session or rhythm that doesn't burn you out. All of these things are covered today in our accountability call. We'll get into some tactical things with real world supplementation with creatine, and finally, a simple but game-changing training habit. I've talked about it before in our Q&A calls, our accountability calls, but it's logging your lifts. I'm going to get into that. So, without further ado, let's just dive into our first topic. But before I do, a couple things real quick. If you're wondering, who am I? My name's Adam Ringler. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I've been one for almost 20 years at this rate. And I'm trying to take all of the lessons that I've learned throughout my entire career coaching and give them to you absolutely for free, just so that you can better your life and optimize your nutrition, your performance, and your lifestyle. So let's jump into topic number 1. Everyone wants to get leaner or stronger, but almost nobody knows actually where they're starting from. Hmm, that sounds familiar. Let's start here because this is one that often gets overlooked all of the time. If you were on a road trip and I asked you, hey, where are you going? You'd probably tell me the destination. But if I then asked, where are you starting from? And you said something like, well, I think I'm in the US. Well, good luck, right? You're not going to get anywhere accurate because you don't know where you're at. And that's how most people treat their nutrition and their training and their recovery and everything else. They know where they want to be. I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to gain, put on muscle mass. I want to gain some size, whatever it might be, but they have no real sense of where they are right now. And that is the tricky part, right? We need to know where we're at before we actually start going to the places that we want to go. So here's the thing, knowing where you're at, yeah, this isn't emotional, it's informational. So it's not about shame or guilt or anything like that. It's about data. If you're trying to gain muscle, then you got to know that your current maintenance calories and what they are. That's your true north. And if you're trying to maybe cut body fat, the same logic applies. You need to know where your starting point is in order to be able to manipulate where you want to go, because you can't manipulate something that you haven't measured. So you may be shocked how many people are out there eating healthy but still not progressing because they're underestimating their intake or maybe overestimating their output. And I've seen this all the time with athletes who are either thinking that they're in a calorie deficit, but they're actually eating at maintenance or maybe even in a slight surplus. Now, on the flip side, however, I've seen people trying to bulk or gain muscle mass and they're barely eating over their calorie maintenance levels. So their strength improves, sure, yeah, but the scale, it never moves. You're staying the same weight, Blueprint community. We got to be better than that, right? So for my fellow YouTube watching people of our former athlete society, tracking isn't about being neurotic. It's about being intentional. It's about logging your food for a week. It's about weighing yourself, maybe daily or every week or every 2 weeks, averaging it out and understanding what your maintenance looks like. Because then, and only then, can you make informed adjustments instead of just emotional guesses, right? That's the key. That's the one insight where so many people go wrong. It's where you are right now, right? And that turns into frustration. And it, again, by knowing where you're at, it turns frustration into feedback. It gives you some control, right? And if there's one thing that former athletes crave, trust me, after sport, it's that sense of control again. used to be structured. Yeah, sure. Practice times, weights times, when to show up, team meals, when the flight is, sure, all those things. Now it's up to you. So the more that you can define where you're starting at, the easier it is to create a plan that you actually want to follow. That's the key. So before you ask, what's next? You have to ask, where am I now? So, if you're joining us and you're watching us live on YouTube, welcome for everybody that's here, right? Again, you guys get the behind the scenes access. I go live. I do this for our Blueprint, our broadcast channel over at Instagram. If you're watching us here on this screen, this is my YouTube, right? And welcome. And if you are watching us on this, then I need you to do something so simple, so ridiculously simple. I need you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell right there on the bottom of your screen here and join us here at this channel. We are building something, a community that's bigger than just you. It's bigger just than the broadcast channel. It is all encompassing of the experiences that we all face as student athletes, as former athletes, and I want you to be a part of it. So hit like this video, subscribe to this channel, learn about what we're trying to build here at the Former Athlete Society, and hit the notification bell so you get first dibs when we're dropping videos, because quite frankly, we are dropping videos all of the time. Let's move on to a new topic, everyone. I think this one will be fun. And it starts like this. You don't need more motivation. You need more sleep. Because I used to think motivation was just mental toughness, that old grind harder mentality that we all got fed in sports. But here's the truth, right? And nobody told us this. Most of what we call low motivation is just biological fatigue. You know those mornings where you wake up sharp, the light hits right, you feel good, you catch yourself in the mirror and you're excited about what you see, right? All of those things. Those days where motivation feels natural, not forced. Yeah. It's almost like every single time comes after quality sleep. Now, sleep is the hidden multiplier. It regulates things like your hormones, like leptin and ghrelin, which affects your hunger and your fullness. It balances out your cortisol. It affects your stress and your recovery. It influences things like testosterone and growth hormone levels, which all impact your strength, your muscle repair, and your mood. The difference between 5 hours of broken sleep and 7.5 hours of quality sleep, yeah, it's the difference between dragging through a workout and absolutely crushing it, right? Now, I get it. Life is chaotic. You're juggling work and your family and maybe coaching, maybe a side hustle on the side. You're not living like a college athlete anymore. But that's exactly why sleep becomes non negotiable. You need to protect your sleep hygiene like your performance depends on it, because it actually does. Cool the room, cut the lights, right? The blue light exposure that we've talked about so much on this show, right? Set an anchor time where you stop thinking about work and you start thinking about going to bed. That's important. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about even an extra 30 minutes of night compounds massively over multiple nights. You want to know what really motivates me, right? As a coach, as a person, as an athlete, as a performer myself, waking up and feeling like my body's ready to go to war again, because you can't fake that with caffeine or Ronnie Coleman hype videos. It doesn't work that way, right? So here's the test. Instead of chasing motivation, try chasing recovery, right? And when you do that, nail your sleep and watch how your drive returns like it's never left. Every single time you do that, I promise you, your body will love you and it will thank you for giving itself that commitment to actually improving your sleep, which only ends up improving your motivation and your performance. Let's move on, everyone. But before I do, a couple things real quick that I want to make sure that I get right away here. Whether you're joining us at the Blueprint, our Instagram broadcast channel that I have, you navigate under my profile, Adam Ringler, or if you're joining us here on YouTube, something so simple that I get asked all the time. Adam, how do I get more information about what you're doing? Whether it's Instagram, whether it's the Former Athlete Society, the Blueprint, the Master Plan, all these things, it's right here, everyone. It's adamringler.com. Navigate over to my main website, right? The one that's covering up my entire face right here on the screen. Yeah, navigate over there. And I promise you this, you'll have all the access to our forever free articles, our podcast that I run, the Decoding Excellence show that I've ran for 10 years almost, 90 some episodes at this rate, right? You'll get access to the articles, you'll get access to the podcast, you get access to our newsletters, but only if you give us your email, right? And that's all my ask is just head over to the website, adamringler.com, punch in your email, you'll get access to all of it. Let's move on to our new topic, right? And this is for you, Instagram, for our broadcast channel on my second screen, right? We're live here. We're not live here. I'm not live at YouTube, but we are live at our Instagram channel. So how about we do this one? This one's specifically for you guys, right? So I want to end up talking about it. Here it is, right? Your environment dictates your focus. So start assigning maybe your environment a little bit of a theme. Okay, Adam, what the heck do you mean by that? Well, this is what I mean. Your environment can set you up for success or set you up for failure, right? So, simply put, let's talk about how to stay productive without feeling like you're burning the candle at both ends. And this is something that we probably all do, and we're all guilty of it. Now, I've been using this system for years, and it's one of my favorite real world hacks. I pair my environment with specific themes of content. You understand me, Blueprint? Do you know what I'm saying here when I'm saying this? This is what I mean. When I go for a walk, I always listen to strength and conditioning podcasts because that environment, that rhythm, it keeps my brain engaged but relaxed. Now, when I'm in the car or I'm in my morning commute and I'm heading into work, I'm thinking about coaching. I'm thinking about business audiobooks. I'm thinking about applying coaching or lesson planning or educational pedagogy type things into my coaching practice. Why? Because my environment, my mentality is shifting into work mode. Now, when I'm in the sauna or infrared sauna, yeah, that guy, it's probably Netflix or it's something light because let's be honest, that's time to maybe decompress a little bit. When I'm reading before bed, typically for me, it's things philosophical like Buddhism or mindset based books because that's where my mental recovery begins. I want to start shifting into that. See, what's happening there is that I'm training my brain to associate different places or certain places with certain activities, with specific content type. So every time that I go for a walk, my brain expects performance education. Every time that I'm driving or commuting, it expects growth, personal development, business. Every time that I rest, it expects restoration. Now, the benefit is I stay engaged without burnout. There's structure without maybe the rigidity that comes with it. So here's the key. Your environment should support your goals. If you're always trying to be productive everywhere, you're going to end up unfocused and anywhere except where you want to be. But if you build that intentionality and those themes, you'll automatically fall into the right mindset without actually forcing it. So for 1 week, just 1 week, label each of your main daily environments with a purpose. Whether that is commuting equals learning, or gym equals expression, or your walk is reflection, or your nighttime is unwinding. And you're going to find that productivity doesn't come from doing more in your day. It actually comes from doing the right things at the right place. So, that said, let's move on to a new topic. Before I do, a couple things real quick. You guys already know it because you're following me most likely from Instagram. But for everybody that's in our YouTube channel watching this or watching it on Instagram or elsewhere, who knows what social media, TikTok, etc., right? This is the easiest place to follow me. This is my Instagram handle. It's at Adam Ringler. It's where I host this broadcast channel that you guys are watching live, right? But at Adam Ringler is where you get behind the scenes access, a POV of the life of a strength and conditioning coach, what it takes to operate within collegiate athletics at the highest level. I want you to be a part of it. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of it. I try to share some things. I share some resources, strength and conditioning wise. So head over there, Adam Ringler, give me a follow. I would appreciate it. So let's move on from here and let's move into a new topic. And this one, I probably said this before, and I'll say it again. Just take creatine. Stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. I can tell you how many times this conversation comes up, right? I can't tell you. Sometimes and every time, family, friend, coworker, who knows? Hey, Adam, what supplement should I take? And I probably tell them 99 out of 100 times, just take some creatine. Now, every single time. And why? Because it works. It's been studied more than almost any other supplement on the entire planet. It's safe, it's cheap, it supports strength, power output, muscle growth, cognition, right? And even brain health, right? If creatine costed $100 a month, we'd probably all be skeptical. Sure, yeah, but it's like $15 for a tub that lasts maybe 2 months. It's so affordable, right? That people assume it's not worth it. That's sometimes the value gap that we have with creatine. It's so cheap, but it delivers all these benefits. It can't be true, right? Here's the truth. The benefits of creatine compound over time. You won't necessarily feel it day to day, but over weeks, your recovery improves, your reps stay stronger, deeper into your sets, and your explosiveness lasts longer. Those are all great things. And there's this underrated piece too, neurological support, right? Creatine helps the brain manage energy metabolism. And then there's emerging research that shows that benefits for mood and cognition and neural protection. We all want that. We all want smarter brains and brains that are more protected. So, yeah, it's not about just your biceps, it's about your brain. 5 grams a day, every day, doesn't matter when, AM, PM, whatever, right? Whatever you can stay consistent at. Mix it with your shake, your coffee, your water. It doesn't matter. Just take it. Now, there's no magic timing, no loading, no cycling, just consistency. See, back when I was, using it back in the early sort of high school days, my old heads, you guys understand this. You probably remembered the old Cell Tech back in the day when it was loaded with sugar and we were all told to take it around our workout. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. You just want a simple real world tactical move that will pay dividends across your training, cognition, and recovery. Yeah, it's creatine. So just take it. Final thing I want to talk about on our accountability call. And I think you guys are going to like this one. This is such an underrated tip. And I've recommended it before on our Q&A call. So if you haven't gone back to our YouTube channel and watched some of our Q&As, do so. Again, youtube.com Adam Ringler, I think is the URL. That's my channel. You can jump over there. Give me a like, give me a follow. Matter of fact, you guys know the graphic. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm going to pop that up on here. Hit that bell right there and get first dibs to all the videos that we are dropping because we are dropping lots of them. Now, final accountability tip that we are going to discuss today. And this one is so ridiculously simple. I'm almost embarrassed at sharing it with us here on our YouTube. If you're not logging your training, you're guessing. And if you're guessing, that's not progress. So, what I mean by this is that if you ever look back and realize that you've been spinning your wheels while training, right? You're training, you're sweating, you're showing up, but you're not actually knowing if you're really improving. That's because what isn't measured can't be managed. Every great athlete used to have a coach, right? Tracking some element of their performance, their weights, their speeds, their recovery, their readiness, something. And then after sport, that data goes away unless you're actively trying to recreate it. And that's where a training log actually comes into play. It doesn't need to be fancy. Grab a notebook, use an app, track your movements, your sets, your reps, your loads, things like that. And most importantly, or just as importantly, rather, know your lifestyle data, right? Track your sleep, your stress, your nutrition, your soreness, things like that. I wear an Apple Watch, right? I use Bevel Health as an app. There's a free version, there's a paid version. And here's the beauty. Your log becomes your mirror. It tells you when you're progressing and when you're stuck. And that information is powerful. If your numbers are trending up and your recovery markers are solid and great, stay the course. But if you're constantly beat up and your strength stagnates or your sleep and your appetite dips or something like that, you're probably doing too much volume or you're not recovering enough. Now, this is how you reconnect with feedback loops. You start training with intent again, not just the habit. And that's the real difference between staying in shape and building performance longevity. You're not just here to maintain, you're trying to evolve. We're trying to get better, we're trying to get stronger. All of those things are done by actually monitoring your performance. So, that said, let's put all of this together, right? Let's pull it all together and put a bow tie on our accountability call. You got to know where you are at before you can decide where you want to go. That's your nutritional foundation. You got to start there. You also have to protect your sleep if you actually want natural motivation again. That's your recovery foundation. Now, you've got to build some themes into your environment, like we talked about, to stay productive without burning out. That's your mindset foundation. You've also got to listen, you don't have to take your word for it, my word, right? You got to take some creatine because it's real world performance support with almost zero downside. That's your tactical foundation. And then lastly, for our accountability call here for the Former Athlete Society, you've got to log your training. So your effort actually means something measurable, right? That's your performance foundation. Now, these 5 pillars of accountability right there is going to take you so far. So, former athletes, we were built on structure, feedback, community. Don't lose that. Rebuild it with intention. Now, if you are watching this and you haven't yet joined the Former Athlete Society, this is your call, right? Join my community. Surround yourself with other people who are rebuilding that discipline, that edge, that identity, not to chase old glory numbers and pretend like they still wear their college jersey. No, but to build new strength, new community, new numbers. Show up, even if it's just for you and you alone. Because accountability isn't about the crowd, it's about your commitment. So I invite you a couple places. Number one, I invite you to head over to adamringler.com, covering up my eyes right here on the center screen. Head right there and join us at the Former Athlete Society. And if you have yet to do something so simple, so ridiculously simple, I want you to go. It's right there on the main screen, anyways, right? It's up there. Give me a like, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and join us at what we're building here at this YouTube channel. I'd love for you to be a part of it. I'd love for you to get the videos. I'd love for you to like, comment, share, ask questions. Let's build a community around what we're building here at the Former Athlete Society. And then lastly, directly to you guys over here, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in to the Instagram. I'm going to throw up the Instagram right up here as well, just for this community on the YouTube screen, but you guys already know it. Thanks for joining us here in the behind the scenes access of what we're building in the blueprint. This is our forever free access to all things strength conditioning, sports science, high performance coaching, and you're a part of it and you get that behind the scenes access. So until next time, every single one of you, like I said, I appreciate you more than you ever know. Thank you. Stay strong, keep training, keep getting after it.